Davey Johnson as well, which is part of this draft process. Yep. They loaded up, and they did a fantastic job, and they got a couple of linebackers that they may need with Navarro Bowman's injury, and of course, we don't know what's going to happen to Aldon Smith, either from the league's perspective or the penal system. All right, so now we move on to the East, and we take a look at the NFC East. Eagles against the Redskins. The Eagles took Louisville defensive end Marcus Smith the second round. They got depth at wide receiver with Jordan Matthews out of Vanderbilt and Josh Huff, a player that Chip Kelly knows from Oregon. The Redskins had no first-round pick from the RG3 trade, but they got Trent Murphy, who's relentless on the inside at 47. Todd, who do you like in this matchup?
It's hard to factor in the RG3 trade. What do you give him? About a third of RG3
exactly.
is the value here. So I didn't love the second-round pick for Trent Murphy, Stanford linebacker going to Washington. So I took the Eagles. Marcus Smith I thought was a little bit of a reach, but a good scheme fit. Jordan Matthews, I thought they got a good value on it, wide receiver, big hands. He's going to be a consistent pass catcher. And Josh Huff, also a wide receiver with familiarity.
No question about that. So we moved to the Giants against the Cowboys. Giants went with Isidore Newman, wide receiver, Odell Beckham, throwing and catching passes from Isidore Newman, quarterback Eli Manning. Cowboys were in the Johnny Mandel spot to take it at 16, didn't take the bait. They went with offensive lineman Zach Martin. They took pass rushing linebackers in the second and third. Todd, who won?
I loved the fact that they didn't take the bait. And they kept building this football team, but I'm going with the Giants just slightly over Dallas here. Odell Beckham, one of the best picks of the first round, I thought. You've got to get receivers for this quarterback, Eli Manning, and that's what they go out and get a guy who can stretch the field and give you run after catch. Also, Andre Williams in the fourth round, a guy who can pound it and, most importantly, protects the football.
Absolutely. Nicknamed Edgar for all the poetry he writes for Edgar Allan Poe. So we got the Eagles against the Giants. Yeah. So, stop it,
Very
you guys.
Smart.
Who wins, Eagles, Giants?
I'm going to go with the Giants. Again, very close, but I think the Giants, the depth of their draft. Jay Bromley was a solid pick in the third, maybe a little bit of a reach there, but he's going to come in, and I think have a chance to rotate and contribute. The Williams pick at fourth. Weston Richburg is an underrated pick. He's got a chance to start right now. I think he will be the starter right now and should be an upgrade at the center position.
Well, as everyone knows, I love centers.
You do love centers.
Weston Richburg, by the way, broke his hand in one game on his right, no problem, didn't miss a snap. The next game went in and snapped with his left. That's how tough he is. Damien, your thoughts on what you look at when the NFC East total draft picture?
You know, I really like what the Dallas Cowboys did. You guys alluded to it. They didn't take the bait. It wasn't a fancy draft, and that's kind of anti-Jerry Jones.
Correct.
Not going with the fancy move. Just went with a bunch of solid picks. You know, you're starting off with Zach Martin to help protect Romo, to get that running game going, and then a bunch of guys to really help with that defense, because we all know that was the real problem area for the Dallas Cowboys. They traded a couple picks, you know, for the kid DeMarcus Lawrence for Boise State. Yeah. So I just like the fact that they were solid in their draft strategy.
They had a plan and they stuck to it. Yep. Dallas trying to avoid a fourth straight 8-8 season in the history of the NFL. No team has ever been even Steven for 4 straight years. All right.